Let's suppose we want to create a confined masonry with reinforced concrete elements. Let's go back to the main environment of the program, and let's go deeper into some aspects related to the definition of other materials and in particular of the reinforced concrete sections. From the menu, define materials, other material. We can define a steel material and a concrete material. Next, we proceed to define the reinforced concrete sections. Define section, frame sections allows us to define the geometry of the cross-sections for the frame elements. Either reinforced concrete sections, which are called composite, or homogeneous sections, for example only concrete. We define the column section, which we will use for the columns. In the General tab, select the section type, composite section, and assign the concrete material and rebars material. We define the geometry of the section, width, height, etc. Rebars, quantity and diameter. Basic section properties, area, moment of inertia, etc. And advanced properties, section strength characteristics, are determined automatically. From the same tab, it is possible to take a look at the three-dimensional strength domain of the reinforced concrete section, PMM domain, and the moment curvature diagram. We proceed in the same way with the definition of the beam SEC section, the section we will use to define the beams. We define the geometry, the reinforcement. Then with OK and close we save the changes. Next step, define element templates. Frame element, we define the column and beam elements to which we associate the previously created sections. To define the frame type element, select the section in the behavior. The behavior is defined in the behavior section by selecting 3D beam from the drop-down menu. 3D beam interacting with the masonry. The plasticity is concentrated in the hinges that do not take into account the influence of axial force on the plastic moment. Suitable for modeling beams that work also out of the plane of the wall where they belong. For the columns, we define an element type column 3D. Assign the section and behavior. From the behavior section from drop-down menu, select the 3D column item. 3D beam interacting with the masonry. The plasticity is concentrated in the hinges that take into account the interaction between the normal force and bending moments in the two main planes. Suitable to model columns. Access the floor modeling environment and in the Draw menu, select the Beam command. In the Properties panel on the right, select the Format, Template, Beam 3D. Let's draw the frame, start point and end point. The program automatically breaks the frame at the points where the interacting floor line splits. This creates the beams along all exterior walls. From the Draw menu, Column, we model the columns. We select both the template and the alignment in the Properties panel and insert the column element at the intersection of the outer walls. We complete the creation of beams in the transverse direction. Using display filters. We only visualize beams and columns. Once we have selected only the reinforced concrete elements that we want to copy, we use the Copy to Another Level commands. Go to Edit menu, Copy to Other Level. We use the filters to copy only the selected elements, copy only if selected. We copy to all upper levels and return to the main environment showing the 3D model with confined masonry. Before running the pushover analysis, we assign a fixed constraint to the column bases. We select all the elements in the plan view. From the floor editor we access the context menu and select the option column, then create/edit base foundation. We assign a point foundation to fix the column's displacements outside the plane of the wall to which they belong. In effect, the line restraint assigned to the plan line only fixes the degrees of freedom in the plane of the wall. We now perform the pushover analysis. The solver proceeds by first performing a vert analysis, for vertical loads only. It then performs the seismic pushover analysis. We identify the force-controlled phase, first section shown here in gray, and the displacement-controlled phase, shown here in blue. For each analysis, as many capacity curves are plotted as assigned control points. These are defined automatically, but it is also possible to create your own. Once the pushover analysis has been completed, the solver processes the results and returns the results of all the performed analysis in a summary panel. Now we will evaluate the vulnerability estimation for the building with confined masonry. Click on the box corresponding to the pushover plus Y mass analysis. Let us look at the results of the vulnerability estimation. The maximum displacement demand Dmax is compared with the displacement capacity, indicated by the arrow. The displacement capacity is greater than the demand and the check is satisfied. We access the event log and select a step corresponding to the shear failure of a frame element to visualize the response in terms of deformation. Frame element collapsed by shear. Back to the event log window. We can customize the capacity of the structure by limiting the capacity to coincide with the step at which the column shear failure occurred. This event then determines that the capacity of the structure has been reached. We move the NC limit state tag to the step at which the column shear failure occurred. The program asks if we want to customize the capacity of this limit state. We click Yes. And we update the vulnerability estimate. The last step of the capacity curve gets updated. The curve is truncated and the last step is the one we have customized, at shear failure of the member. We visualize the response in terms of deformation. Pushover analysis plus Y mass and selected step. Last step, shear failure of the columns. We display the undeformed configuration. Select an element and visualize the wall response. Select the pushover analysis in the direction of the wall plane and display the diagrams. To display the diagrams of all members, click on the diagram mode and then select all beams. We select the analysis step, increase the display scale and select the diagram to be displayed. The bending moment diagram is displayed for all members. When hovering the mouse over the diagram, the right-hand diagram panel shows the numerical values, both at the current point and in the verification sections. Select a cross-section, so the section panel shows its characteristics, and it is also possible to display the resistance domain in the state of the section at the considered step, and the moment curvature diagram. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next video.